Hello everybody, today I'm playing around with the beautiful pearl drops beads from Beebeecraft. These are glass beads and I have one, it's like in a off-white and a white colour, and I just think they make beautiful vintage style charms. So I've been making a couple of different varieties here and I just thought I'd show you how I do it. It is very simple. I'm just getting one of the ball pins that I received from Beebeecraft. These are 60 millimeter, but I don't need them that long. I do like to get longer ones initially because it depends what you're making. You can't make a small one longer, but you certainly can make a long one shorter. And then I'm getting one of the lovely pearls that come on a string, and I'm just taking one off. I'm threading it through the base of the pearl like that. And on this particular one, I'm going to put a tiny little bead, a seed bead. And these are also from Beebeecraft. This one's a brown bead. And they're 2 millimeter baked glass beads. And I received these from Beebeecraft a while ago. They come in very handy. Now these bronze ball pins will darken with age, so the colour will actually eventually match up quite nicely. As you can see, these little bead caps here, see how dark they are now. Of course, when I first got those, they were lighter, a little bit lighter, so age darkens them. Once I've got that on like that, I'm going to trim probably halfway, I would think. There we go. And then I'm just going to hold that bead as tight as possible. And I'm going to push it. Now, I usually hold on to it with these, but I can't get it quite too tight enough with that. So I tend to just bend it over with my hand now. Let's just thread that little bead. Keeps moving on me. I'm going to thread it there, and of course it's on an angle at the moment, but that will drop down once I start winding the wire. Now, I'm not an expert at this sort of thing. I just try and do the best I can. There are so many people who are very good at this sort of thing, and I just do the best I can, and that's all I can do. So I've got my wire in my tool, which are also from Beebeecraft, and I'll list all these things in the description box below, and I'm just going to keep turning that. Now this is not a what's the name of it? This is not one you can open. This is one I want to thread on a bulb pin. I'm just going to squash the end of that in and now straighten it up a little. And I think I've got it and I'm quite happy with that. Maybe just tilt it over a bit that way. But as you can see, the bead dropped down into place once I started turning that. I'm just getting the end bit there. So that's what that looks like now. And I'm just going to get myself a bulb pin. And this is also in the bronze colour. Just open it up and then I will thread 1, 2, and then I have a little bag here with some scraps of lace in it, and I'm just going to have a little rummage through and try and find a nice piece of lace that could work. of course, depending on the look you were going for. Oh, I think we got one. Here's a nice little piece of corded lace. That's a bit bigger than what I would want though, so just let me... Oh, there's a nice little piece. That's a bit of lace trim left over. That might work really nicely here. So, because I don't know where it's going just yet. Obviously it will go probably in a vintage style journal. By the look of the pearls, and I'm just going to thread that through there, and that's it. And they are ready to attach onto a project in the future. And that's the other one I made. This one does not have the beads at the top. It's just got the pins going through it on a little bit of lace. And this one here has little bead caps on the top of it. And this one is the white beads, this one here. So I've made 3 different types there out of those beautiful pearls from Beebeecraft, and also the ball pins from Beebeecraft also. But that's not all for this video. I intend to put another little tutorial with this as well, because that was very easy, wasn't it? So I'll be back in a moment with something else. Okay, so for the next part of the tutorial, I'm going to make a couple of tags. And what I want to do is use this lovely corner punch that I've got. So I'm going to, I might just need a flat, I'll put a little board under there, it might make it a little bit easier. So you just pop that in like that, and that will go like that. So I'm going to do a couple like that. And I might do one the opposite direction as well. There we go. I think that might work. And get rid of our little bits that come out the bottom. There we go. I might leave that there. I'll put it the other way so it's not too distracting. And so I've just cut some scrap paper out. These are just like from an old book. They do have like little holes every so often where the binding was, but that's okay. And then all I'm going to do is attach one of these to this, and that way it makes it a little bit stronger, but you get to see this beautiful corner piece there. So just with my glue, I will glue around the decorative piece. And I'm gluing all the little bits in that just so it doesn't get caught on anything. Okay, and I'll put some glue down the center like that, and one right around the edge as well. Like that, make it nice and flat. I'll just trim that a little on that side. There we go. And And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the other tags, and then I'll be back. And there we go, they're all glued on, and I rounded the bottom corners on each of the tags as well. Now what I'm going to do is stitch around. I'm not going to stitch in that corner there. I'm just going to stitch around and back up to where that pattern starts, and I'll be doing that on my sewing machine, and once I've done that I will come back. Alright, so I have a bit of sari silk here. You can see how I have stitched around the bottom edge. That's the other side of it there. And the sari silk, it's not wide at all, but I just want to make it a bit more narrow, just so that the bow doesn't turn out too bulky. So I'm not cutting it in half. I'm taking probably a third of the width of the sari silk away, and then just tying a bow, and it doesn't have to be a perfect bow by any means, so right up my alley. I just want something in that corner there. So we've got a nice little silk bow, and what I need to do is how am I going to do this? I need to push my pin, and these bulb pins, they're not that sharp. You know, some are, but most of them, they're not like a pin where they're really, really sharp. So you kind of have to just use a little bit of patience and gently keep pushing a little bit at a time, and it will go through like that, and that, go on our tag like that. But I just want a little bit extra, so over here I've just got a small piece of tulle. Oh, you can't even see that, can you? Trust me, it's only a little bit of tulle, that big. And I'm just going to distort it just a little bit. Gives it a little bit of a vintagey kind of look, and you can get tulle on the Beebeecraft site also. And then all I'm going to do is scrunch it up like that, and probably twist it over itself like that. And I'm just going to stitch that to that corner. I'll just put a little clip in it to hold it in place. So looking very dark. Here we go. There you go. See how I've done that? And it doesn't matter how you do it. I just want a kind of a messy looking bit of tulle at the top of my tag. That's all I'm going for. And I'm just going to do a little straight stitch from where that fancy corner starts across to the edge here. I didn't sew there before, so I'm going to sew there now, and then I'll be back. Okay, there we go. That's stitched on. You can see I stitched it on the back there, and now I'm just going to glue my bow over the top of that. So making sure I've got it the right way around. Turn it over, put some craft glue on there. And I'm kind of going to angle it a little bit, like that. Okay, and now what I'm going to do with the sari silk is just kind of have it, I'm going to place it how I would like to see it. Like, I will probably just cut it there. And I want it like that. I think that looks pretty. So what I'm going to do is very carefully just put my finger on the end of the glue, put a little bit of glue there, not too much because I don't want it showing through the sari silk, and just lightly pressing on that to hold it in the position that I might like it. Just making sure it looks all right. Yep, see, that will squash down, of course, once it's in a journal. And the same with this side here. I don't want it just sticking out like that. So it's okay to just give it a little bit of a helping hand, how you might like it. And get rid of the straightness of the... So I might like that like that. So the same thing, I'm just popping my finger on a little bit of glue there and putting just enough that I can manipulate the ribbon just a little bit. And play around with it. There we go. I think that looks alright. I think that looks a bit better than it's sticking out all straight. Yeah, okay. So it still looks natural, but it's got its own position. I could put a little bit more there as well if I wanted to, just to, you know, hold that like that. There we go. And that is a pretty little tag. And you would put that on the edge. You wouldn't put that side on the inside of a page if you're putting it in a journal. The book would be like that, and you would have it, you know, more towards the outside because the pearls are quite bulky. If I wanted to, when that's all dry, I might reposition the pin a little bit more. I've done that one there. I added another piece of lace to the card in this instant. I just thought that that was a small piece of lace, needed a little bit extra, and that's the other one I made as well. So there we go. 3 lovely tags with some vintage style charms. So after stepping back and having a little look at them, I thought they were a little bit plain, so I've added a bit more lace to the other 2 tags as well. And then I've cut a piece out of the corner design there, that center part, and just popped it down the bottom of the tag, and I think that finishes it off a little bit better. Sometimes you have to step back and look at something to see it with a pair of fresh eyes, and I'm quite happy. I also added a tiny little flower up the top here and put a bit of mercury glass glitter in the center. So there are my tags. I hope you liked the tutorial. Thank you, Beebeecraft, for these lovely items. I've used the lovely pearls, the 2 different color pearls with the straight pins from Beebeecraft, and also the wonderful corner punch, which I'm sure will come in handy with lots of projects over time. So thank you so much for watching, everybody, and take care. Bye.